Because we cannot say a nation of 167 million people, we don't have enough people that can go into aviation sector and make things happen.
You know, I love Channels TV. You guys are right. Programs like these, you can get to tell the government if they're listening. Nigeria is over full with capacity. We have. But he mentioned government policies. It seems to be forward today, backwards tomorrow. We are always going forward and doing somersaults.
3 steps back, 1 step forward, 3 steps backwards.
When all that talk was going on about getting rid of Nigeria Airways, oh, they owe so much debt and all that kind of thing, nobody in government thought about the important role of a national carrier. That airline that identifies you. I have been in the industry so long that when I think back to the days of Nigeria Airways, the average Nigerian would rather fly that airline. I was inside the DC-10 of Nigeria Airways one day, and guess who was there? Late Bobby Benson. And he came from first class to economy, and he was singing to Nigerians. It was such a wonderful flight between Lagos and London. And it was not just because of Bobby Benson. Nigerians loved Nigeria Airways. Today, Virgin Atlantic does uncountable number of flights out of this country. British Airways, Air France, Lufthansa, Iberia.
KLM.
There must be something. There must be something. Look, these airlines, they make the bulk of their money from this country.
I'm sorry to break you there,
Yes.
Captain. We have very limited time. The one thing I would want to hear from you, you are a practitioner in this industry. What is it that is stopping us as individuals? Because you can have the NTAs and all the other state and government-owned organizations who are media organizations, but in spite of all the difficulties, private organizations like Channels, This Day, and so on, they thrive in the media industry. What is it that is stopping Nigerians to go into aviation industry and make things happen? Is it the training? Is it the fact that we don't have the policy that supports them? Or is it that the education that we have in Nigeria just does not allow it? Is it that our brain just can't handle aviation?
No, the policies are the first thing that's wrong. When they killed Nigeria Airways, what did they do? They make the private individuals who were coming into this business to see themselves as rivals, competitors. Rather than, it costs a lot of money to do what we need to do. It costs a lot of money. Not one individual or a group of people like setting up channels or AIT and all that. Aviation is a different ball game as far as the finances are concerned.
And
If government
it's in dollars.
It's in dollars. If government has, if they put in place the right policies and they get the people together and encourage the people rather than being rivals to form conglomerates and come in, then government through their policies can say, look, we make these ones flag carriers. Look, United, Continental, Delta, they are flag carriers for America. They are not owned by government. They are private enterprise. Now, if they do the same thing in Nigeria, then you will not have aero contractors competing with ARIC competing with Air Nigeria. Look, we're talking now. Air Nigeria is out of this picture again. That's another blow to our economy.
Another one by the dust.
Another one.
Yes. Okay. Well, as we wrap up now, let's ask Ikechi Uko. Now, a number of questions are coming here, but it all points to the same question that I'm asking in terms of, do we have the capacity to make it happen? In spite of government, because there are organizations in Nigeria that are thriving in their own little sector, in spite of government not supporting them. Do we have the capacity?
Okay, first ask ourselves, why was government giving subsidy to oil importers and oil marketers? That's one answer. The major problem is that aviation is a political and diplomatic weapon. you are flying the flag of a country, which means you are representing that country. So why would we like to present weak people to represent us? Why don't we make them in the image of Nigeria, strong, powerful, and dominant? Every environment in this world that needs to have an airline understands that this is the flag carrier. Not outside our sportsmen, no other person carries our flag everywhere except our airline. If we have that understanding and understand the fact that we subsidize oil marketers, we know that these guys are more important to us than this other, even our embassies. Now, the second thing about capacity, yes, sometimes our capacity has problems. I've seen that most people who are in aviation understand aviation, but they don't understand the interdependencies of aviation. I've worked with foreign airlines, I've worked with local airlines. The foreign airlines have a model that has worked. The Nigerian airline just says, okay, I'm selling tickets from Lagos to Abuja. You don't understand you need trade partners. You don't understand you have to develop a route. You don't understand you have to do tourism. You don't understand that. They don't even have any intention. So they just understand the tip of the iceberg. The main thing is under. And I can tell you that is why I said our capacity is limited. Most people who have run airlines in Nigeria don't understand the whole gamut of travel business. I know that because I've dealt with most of them. They understand aviation. Aviation is just an aspect of the whole business. But these other airlines, British Airways have a travel company, Emirates has a travel company, Ethiopia has just signed one, South African Airways. So every airline has a travel company that drives the destination and brings the business. No Nigerian carrier outside Nigerian Airways that has a tourism department understands that you need to build the traffic that will fill the aircraft and sustain the brand. And these things are funded by government. Those travel departments are supported by government. Yes. So Nigerians cannot allow a Mr. Kayode, a Mr. Ibrahim to carry our flag and fly it anyhow. We have to help him fly the flag. It is our flag.
Okay, final word from Rosemary.
Okay. You cannot actually disassociate government from the success of aviation. In the countries that have succeeded, even the private airlines are supported by government. The US, for example, when they had the recession, you saw how the government bagged the airline. So you cannot disassociate that. In terms of capacity, yes, we have the capacity. But in my own opinion, I believe that the Nigerian syndrome affects the way these airlines play out. They are overburdened with survival. So they don't have the mental energy to start deviating into tourism and all this. And the state of aviation, it's what is affecting the non-performance of the tourism section. Because without aviation, there can be no tourism. So they complement each other. So the capacity is there, but the issues of the country affect the ability to, to use the capacity to its utmost limit. So, like what's happening in sports, everybody can see the way it's deteriorating. Right. Aviation is even, in my own opinion, is even thriving. It could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
Okay, that will be the final word. Final word from you. Just one sentence now, because we have to run now.
We can do better considering the fact that we are the biggest suppliers of travelers in Africa. $1 billion in flight tickets a year. That is a honey pie for anybody. It's the sweet spot of aviation in Africa. So we should get part of that money.
Okay. Your final word?
Government needs to have knowledge of what is happening there. After 9/11, American government subtly, just not to create panic in their aviation world, they told the embassies worldwide, they granted visas for people to come to America. There were very little restrictions. People were not denied visas just to travel to America. They made it open so that aviation will not go down as a result of 9/11. So our government needs to do the same. They need to support people. They need to build those pillars that will make aviation what it used to be.
Okay, just before you wrap up, very quickly, we'll take some of your tweets. One is from Jesse Emerude. Jesse Evie said, the captain convinced me on the issue of the need not to have suspended Dana license. He said the captain's arguments are strong. And then we've got Akinlara, who says Nigerians will not take a Nigeria plane after a crash because Nigeria as a corporate entity is a farce. Sad. And then we've got Shah Sam. Sam is saying, Aduku is his name. He's saying that sad, but the Ethiopian aviation is more experienced. Record speaks volume. And then finally, I'll take one more. Government chased Branson out, and we still talk of Kenyan airline that has been allowed to be privately run for government. So those are some of the ones we can take, but you can still send us more tweets during the course of the program. We'll take them. Send it to @sunrisesaturday, or you can tweet straight at me, and that will be @Kayode Akintemi.
Thank you very much, lady and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Well, I think we all now stand convinced that the first thing to do when a plane crashes is not to ground the airline.
Yeah.
And also to the people of Nigeria that plane crashes are part of the aviation business.
That's true.
They're not supposed to happen every year or every day, but they do happen. And when they happen, it's not a signal for you to not fly anymore, because flying is still the safest form of travel. Thank you very much for coming. Captain Benson Ikponwosa, aviation practitioner, Mr. Ikechi Uko, a travel expert, as well as Rosemary Hanum, aviation analyst. Well, I had the order wrong there. Don't they say ladies first?
After men.
I'm sorry, Rosemary.
Ladies first, after men.
Thank you all for coming.
You're welcome.
Sunrise will
You're welcome.
return in just a moment with yet another very interesting issue. Stay with us.
Thank you.